Hi, second graders. Today's story is from Knowledge 10, Lesson 5, called the Digestive System. Before I begin our story, I'm going to go over our vocabulary words. Our first vocabulary word for today's story is the word absorb. Repeat after me. Absorb. Absorb means to take in or soak up a substance, often gradually. Our next vocabulary word is the word saliva. Say saliva. Saliva is a watery liquid in the mouth that helps soften food, often making it easier to swallow. Our last vocabulary word is the word villi. Say villi. Villi are the small finger-like threads inside the small intestine through which nutrients from food are absorbed into the body. Boys and girls, when I look at you, I can't tell whether you are hungry or whether you just had a meal. But one thing I do know is that everybody in this room has a digestive system, and that all of your digestive systems are working right now. There's a lot going on inside those bodies of yours. You each eat several hundred pounds of food in 1 year. It takes roughly 24 hours for food to travel through your gut or digestive tract, a long, complicated series of tunnels with openings at both ends. Where does the journey begin? Yes, the process of digestion begins when you put a piece of food in your mouth. When you were born, most of your teeth were hiding inside your gums. That's why babies start out with a liquid diet. But once your first set of teeth came in, you were able to eat solid foods. You are at an age right now when you're probably losing some of those teeth and getting a new set. If so, maybe you're finding it hard to chew certain foods. Your teeth help you break your food down into tiny pieces. The longer you chew, the smaller the pieces become, and the easier it is to digest. Human teeth come in different shapes and sizes, designed to eat both plants and animals. Let's take a look at the different types of teeth you have in your mouth. The flat, wedge-shaped teeth at the front of your mouth are called incisors. The incisors, both top and bottom, work together like a pair of scissors to bite, slice, and cut up your food. Next to the incisors are sharp, fang-like teeth called canines or dog's teeth. These teeth tear and rip food apart, the way that dogs do with a piece of meat. Behind the canines, bicuspids help to crush the food. In the back of the mouth, wide teeth with bumpy tops, known as molars, help grind the food into mush. Next time you bite into a piece of chicken, sample a piece of cheese, or chomp into an apple, see if you can tell which teeth are helping you the most. Have you ever heard someone call food mouth-watering? What do you think that means? When you smell your favorite food, perhaps spaghetti and meatballs, your mouth probably starts to water as you think about how good it will taste. That watery substance is called saliva. Saliva comes from a small salivary gland in your cheek and under your tongue. It helps keep your mouth damp and softens food as you chew, beginning to break food down for easy digestion. Saliva serves another important job as well, helping to wash away and kill bacteria. Did you know that every day you produce as many as 6 cups of saliva in your mouth? Can you feel it? Can you taste it? What else do you have in your mouth besides your teeth and saliva? What's the name of that fleshy muscle in your mouth that's covered in taste buds? Your tongue, of course. Not only does your tongue help you taste your food, it also helps push the food around your mouth, rolling it into a mashed up wet lump of food. Your tongue pushes the lump of food to the back of your mouth and helps you swallow. Once food is swallowed, it passes into a food canal called the esophagus. This stretchy tube is only about 10 inches long, leading from the back of your throat, through your neck and chest to your stomach. Food passes through the esophagus quickly. Muscles squeeze together and push the food into the stomach in about 10 seconds or less. It's a lot like squeezing toothpaste from its tube. Put your hands on the left side of your upper abdomen, just below your chest and above your waist. That's where your stomach lives, behind your lower ribs. This human mixing machine is shaped a bit like the letter J. Your stomach acts like a balloon, expanding to hold the food it receives. The stomach's gastric juices help break down the food into a paste-like substance. These digestive juices also kill any germs that may have been swallowed. Round and round, food churns for 3 or 4 hours as muscles squeeze inside the stomach walls. Once it is in the substance of a thick soup, the food continues its journey into the intestines. There are 2 types of intestines, the small intestine and the large intestine. The intestines are tubes located in the lower abdomen through which food and waste travel. Even though there are 2 different kinds of intestines, the small and the large are actually part of the same long single tube. A muscular gate or sphincter at the bottom of the stomach opens to allow food to flow from the stomach into the small intestine. The small intestine is about 21 feet long, or about as long as 5 7-year-olds lying head to toe. Even though it's longer than the large intestine, it's called the small intestine because it's much thinner than the large intestine. This narrow tube, the small intestine, is coiled up like a snake below your belly button. Muscles squeeze together and push the mashed up soupy liquid along the curly small intestine. The food is mixed once more with digestive juices from the liver, pancreas, and gallbladder, other organs that are part of your digestive system. The juices, called enzymes, break the food down and make it more and more watery along the way. The small intestine, with its million of villi, or finger-like threads, is where some of the most important work of the digestive system takes place. The villi reach out and absorb or soak up usable nutrients and water, passing them through the bloodstream into all the cells of your body. Did you ever hear rumbling sounds coming from inside you? Chances are they're coming from your small intestine as muscles contract or squeeze together to break down food. They're the sounds of a healthy gut. Most of the nutrients that are absorbed by the small intestines, many villi, travel to the reddish-purplish liver, one of your body's most important cleansing organs. Your lower ribs on the right side of your body protect your liver. Its function is to clean the blood, filtering or straining out any leftover waste. It turns this waste into bile, one of the juices used by the small intestine to help digest your food. The clean blood, with lots of nutrients, is carried to muscles to make them stronger, to bones to make them harder, and to every part of your body to give you the energy you need to help you grow. Since blood goes to every part of your body, the liver performs a very important function of making sure the blood circling in your body is clean. The finger-shaped organ is called the appendix. As far as anyone knows, it doesn't seem to be useful to the digestive system. From time to time, the appendix can become infected or sick and causes a disease called appendicitis. When people get appendicitis, they get a very sharp pain in the lower abdomen in the area surrounding the intestines. This pain comes from the appendix, located in the lower right side of your abdomen near your hip bone. When it causes too much pain, doctors remove it. For many years, the appendix was considered a completely useless organ. Only recently have some doctors begun to think the appendix may serve to fight infections. The appendix is located right where the small intestine widens out into the large intestine. The large intestine is where the solid waste ends up. Even though the large intestine is much, much shorter than the small intestine, it's called the large intestine because it's much wider. Parts of food not digested in the small intestine are squeezed out into the large intestine, where they remain for up to 2 days. Water is absorbed from the waste into the walls of the large intestine and passed into the bloodstream. The waste becomes thicker and thicker, piling up into a solid mass known as feces. Feces are stored in the rectum, the final section of the large intestine, until another muscular gate or sphincter opens and allows the feces to pass through the anus, the body's exit point for solid waste. That is the end of your food's journey, from mouth to esophagus, to stomach to small intestine, to large intestine to anus. The digestive system's organs are working all the time, day and night, to process food into substances that your body can use, providing you with the nutrients and energy that you need.